What's up, everybody? I'm Camarray.
And I'm Zaiah, and this is the Music Report Card, where albums are reviewed based on the vocals, lyrics,
the production, and the sonic vibe.
All right, today we are going to be reviewing Trey Songz.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. His new album is called Back Home, and he's coming with it, I think.
But first, let's talk about the news. All right, we have some baby news, y'all. Wham, wham, wham. Bitch, I'm a baby. Kelly Rowland is pregnant with her second child.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
I told y'all I was going to bump like these. I didn't think that I could bump like these.
It's bumping.
It's bumping.
Like this.
Like this, hey.
So her and Tim Witherspoon.
Yes. And Titan's gonna have a little brother or sister. We'll see. But congratulations to Kelly. I know she's looking forward to.
She's giving very much motivation.
Yeah. Right. Well, in other Destiny's Child news, Michelle Williams actually just signed a 2-book deal with Nelson Books to talk about mental health, mental illness. If you guys don't remember, Michelle had a reality show, I believe it was on the OWN network, where she was supposed to get married and basically had all kind of troubles with her mental health, and then she went on like a tour basically talking about mental health. I think she was kind of one of the first known celebrities to really bring out her mental health issues and everything that she's been going through. I know Charlamagne also follows suit, but I think it's really, really good. I think that would really help a lot of people to, see someone like Michelle Williams, Beyonce's homegirl, dealing with her issues, and to do it in the book form is always good because you can really get everything out to the public. So.
It's a real thing, y'all. Mental health.
Yeah.
Gotta keep it together. Get it together. Get it together, Kelly. Get it together.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, that's all the music news we have for you guys this week. So let's go ahead and jump into the album of the week, Sir Trey Songz.
All right. So I'm going to start off first with one of my favorites, which was Lost and Found. I love the play on words. I love the whole idea of if you're lost, I can find you.
Yes, sir.
But then also the spin on it where he's saying, like, when I'm lost, you can find me.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, that was one of my favorites. I also love when songs ask questions, like, Brandy, have you ever? Or, in the song, he's asking a lot of questions and just thought-provoking questions throughout the song. And I just love that. I love when questions are incorporated in songs to make you really think about it. Like, wow, like, what if this was happening? Would you do this or whatever? So, yeah, Lost and Found. That was one of my favorites.
All right, yeah, I love this song as well. And I'll just say I wanted to bring in the sonic flow of the album. I thought it was very, very interesting and very dope how some of the first couple of songs from Be My Guest going into Save It and Hands On, all those songs really flow right there in the beginning of the album and make for kind of a dope intro to the album, and they just all kind of fit together. And I really love, we talk about the sonic flow and how the album flows. I thought he started out very, very strong.
Let's not talk too much about the sonic flow just yet. Just talk about your song.
All right, well, my first song that I want to talk about is GLA. And I'm trying to figure out how much of my personal life I want to give away in this good music report card here.
Not a lot. Please don't give us a lot.
Let's just say that Ghetto Love Affair it hits home just a little bit. But I love the song. It kind of reminds me of How Does It Feel. It has like this slow burn kind of groove. It's very electric guitar, very just sensual and sexy, and I love that portion of it. I feel like his vocal was impeccable on the song. I love how he talks about, I swear this shit's a different kind of high, and like that's something that like when you are in a love affair, like it feels like you are doing something that you're not, and it gives you like this certain kind of rush to where it's like, I shouldn't be doing this, but it kind of fuels you to keep going. It kind of makes it a little bit more passionate and a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? It just makes it
favorite mistake.
Aha, yes sir. But yeah, it makes you feel like you shouldn't be doing this, and it just, I don't know. It's Go check out GLA. It's a ghetto love affair because it's talking about some stuff, y'all.
All right, so the next song that I loved was the Sleepless Nights. Sleepless Nights featuring DeVito. You didn't like it?
I did. It was on my song.
Really?
I gave it a major thumbs down.
Why?
Because I feel like the whole, I don't know if it's considered Afrobeat, but that whole thing, I just feel like everybody tries to do it and it just doesn't work for everybody. And I feel like, especially now that it's been done so much with some of these, I don't even know what type of artists they're considered, but the DeVitos of the world, it's just been done so much. And I just feel like it didn't connect like all the other ones, all the other people that do those kind of Afro.
I don't agree. So let me just talk about it. Let me just
it's your favorite song,
share
though.
this, not my favorite. Just share this moment with y'all.
Yeah.
So I just love how I love upbeat songs, one, but I love when upbeat songs are talking about something that's a little bit, not sad, because this isn't necessarily a sad song, but it's saying it's nights like this, that sleepless nights specifically, that I wish I never fell for you. I wish I never was in love with you, fell in love with you. So, I mean, but the feel of it is, I love the groove of that Afro beat. I love how Trey Songz put his thing on it, and he still stayed true to his artistry. But then DeVito came in and gave what he needed to give for his artistry. I love Afro, that whole Afrobeat sound.
I do too, but it just feels like it falls short of some of the other songs that we've heard.
I feel it, but I think the reason that it fell short is that it still had to conform with what Trey Songz does as an artist. You can't go all the way over and give full Afro if Trey's not going to be having this little accent in that same groove, and he didn't have to give that same groove. So that's what I loved about it, is that you were still able to incorporate that feel in there, and then DeVito comes in and it's like, okay, this is giving what it needs to give, but it was still very much in the pocket. And when you have two artists that come together and give something that is not like, that's not something I would expect Trey Songz to do. So when you have Trey Songz come in on this song and still do it in a tasteful and tactful way, to where it's not too far on the other side and you're not trying to give the accent and give all of that, that's what I love about it. Because you hear like Chris Brown has done it, but he actually falls into the accent. Drake, yeah, these people are like creating the accents. He stayed true to his artistry and still managed to kind of give that good feel. And when DeVito came in, he's saying some of the same things, but in that Afro language where they kind of miss some words, and they're like sleepless nights, and you ain't coming home, you spending time in the city, you're downtown all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I loved about it. I just think it was a good medium for the both of them.
Yeah, I disagree. Like I said, that would make my least favorite list.
What was your next favorite?
My next favorite is actually All This Love. And if you guys can't tell by now, I'm a major fan of R&B music. And I just feel like All This Love is such a classic R&B record. Like the whole woman come, I'm trying to sing it, but it's not coming out.
Come get all this love.
Come get all this love, yeah. Come get all this love, yeah. Like, it's so like R&B feeling, and it's just an amazing, almost throwback, if you will, to R. Kelly. And
Dated.
No. Just very
dated
R&B. It's true to R&B, like, and I love that it's true to R&B.
So that's why you hate Sleepless Nights, because it's not true to R&B.
No, because it doesn't feel like.
I'm just being funny.
It doesn't feel authentic.
Okay.
Yeah. But with All This Love, what I noticed, and I'll say this about almost the entire album, we'll talk about his vocals when we get to that section of the show, but I felt like, generally speaking, Trey Songz' falsetto is shaky as hell. And on this song specifically, I noticed in his falsetto, it came through very, I won't use the word strong, because that's a little bit giving it a little too much.
But I think vocally on this whole album, we can say his falsetto was real decent. Like,
it was decent.
He's been practicing.
Oh yeah, for sure, and that's what I really appreciate.
I know what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, and it didn't feel like there was no effects on it. It just felt like pure and.
Gonna say.
It didn't feel like there were any effects or anything on it, and I did love that with All This Love. But then I love also just the message behind it, where he's like, I'm talking that ring talk, like he talking that big talk, like and he's saying, and that's what I think R&B music. He even mentioned in the Apple Music notes where he felt like R&B music the day, like right now, is just very braggadocious, and I'm the man, I'm that nigga, I'm that, whatever. And to just say, like, I'm talking that ring talk, like I come get all this love, everything I have Inside of Me is for you, and that's what R&B music, in my opinion, is missing today, where you are really talking to your mate and just saying how you really feel. So All This Love gets a major thumbs up from me. That's my second favorite.
Okay, I feel you. My third is Rain.
Okay.
You like Rain?
I like Rain.
It's given very much. When you get caught in the rain with nowhere to run, when you're distraught and in pain, and you just I know we're moving a little too fast because that's really not how it goes all the way. But pretty much what he's saying in the song is, I feel like we're running from the rain when in all reality we can make it through the rain. And he keeps continuing to say, like, I've seen you and I feel like we need to say something to one another, but we're avoiding each other and we're running from the rain. When in all actuality, you know, we can make it through the rain. We can get through this.
Yes.
Let's talk about it. Let's work it out.
Oh, yes.
But is it Sway Lee or Swally?
Sway Lee.
Sway Lee.
Yeah.
Came through on this song.
He
I
did.
loved his part specifically.
He was unforgettable.
Trey's was nice. I think, to be honest, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and, since this is my third song, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it. Can I talk about it?
Talk about
All right.
it.
So Trey, this album was boring to me.
No.
It was boring. I'm not the biggest R&B person. I think that my roots are definitely R&B, but I want to hear things that are going to get me excited and keep me moving
I agree with
through
that.
life. And you got me dragging in. We're going to talk about it a little more because I want to talk about it when we get to the grave.
I missed an up
And I
tempo,
think
a real up tempo.
That's what's bothering me. I think about this song, like even Drugs, the song Drugs from one of his previous albums. It's still upbeat, but it's still got this feel. He's riding it, ride the wave like a wave runner. Dump it there. And then you still did the same thing that you do always do in writing, which is the play on words, but you do something that the Drugs can't do.
Yeah.
That's dope, but then you got this upbeat feeling to it. This was just too much. This right here is a penny dropper. Like, we heard this all before. I heard it all before. And it's not that it's bad, it's just I'm tired. I don't want to hear the same thing. Move on musically. Like, I'm ready for it to progress and go on, because he started going somewhere on this last album, and then he kind of like came back.
But
I'm ready for it to move in another direction. I don't know where I want it to go, but somewhere else. I don't know what the vision is. I just know that I'm seeing other artists come out with things that are creative. They're really using their creativity, and not that you're not creative, because you're amazing. But I just feel like there's just missed opportunities to do more.
But at what point do you satisfy your fans, your core fan base, and also reach out and try to get new fans? Like, I feel like that's a struggle that most artists have, where they want to stick to this core, because I was talking to another friend, and they were saying kind of the same thing, like, I miss that old Trey. So it's like, okay, well, if you miss the old Trey, then he's giving you old Trey, but then the same token, it's like, but I want him to grow and I want him to progress.
I do, like, I want him to grow and I want him to progress, but I think he's still stuck in the early 2000s up to the 2010. Like, it still feels like I've heard it before. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, I get that you still want to, that's where you put songs that kind of fill in, but you can make this song that's a big song that grabs a larger audience. Okay. And then when if your true fans don't like it, they're still gonna support you and get your album and listen to it and have some songs in there that are true to you. And that's where I feel like he needs to branch out and get something that's a little just bigger and just different, and something that just, like what Taylor Swift did. She did something that's totally different. Some of her fans may not have liked it, but a lot of people fell in love with it. And she gained me as a fan, because I wasn't really a Taylor Swift fan, by doing something different and risky.
But sometimes I get that, but it's like sometimes the risk doesn't pay off.
I get it.
And so then you make
I get
huge
it. That's
risk
what a
as
risk
an
is.
artist. Yeah, that's true.
That's what a risk is, and Taylor did it and it paid off.
Yeah.
So I feel like just go for it.
So R&B artists,
but I digress.
A harder time though.
I digress.
That's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
R&B artists, and I was talking about my last song, and you guys have probably all heard it on the radio. Circles. I just love, and if you guys haven't seen the video, it's an amazing video where there's like three different couples that are basically going in circles, and it's just an amazing song. I love the R&B groove of it. It feels good. It feels current. It feels like something that I don't know. It feels kind of like something we would have heard from Trey, but it just feels authentic to him, and it comes at a great portion of the album where it feels like it fills in this gap, so to speak. So Circles is my next favorite, and I will say we'll talk about some of the songs that we liked and that didn't make our top three, and some of our dislikes. But
before we get there, I want to touch on Circles.
Okay.
So are you moving on?
Go ahead.
What's after Circles? What song comes after Circles?
I think it's Round and Round, right?
Round and Round. Yes. Okay, so I liked Round and Round, but it felt like it was what do you call it at the end of a gospel album when they start to when they vamp. I felt like it was a vamp for
I felt that too, and I loved that.
Circles, and I loved it, but I didn't think it needed to. Why is that a whole new song? Like, just find a way to transition that in. And maybe they tried to find a way and they couldn't figure out how to transition it in. But I still felt like it would have fit. Sonic flow wise, listening from that Circles going into Round and Round, I felt like it would have fit, and that would have made me really, really love the song more.
Okay.
Because I like Circles also.
Yeah.
But I think it would have made me fall in love with Circles a little more after I heard Round and Round. I was like, I feel like there was a missed opportunity to transition that in and go into this whole other moment that people weren't ready for.
Yeah, and I don't know if, because I did read that he recorded over 100 songs for the album. It had to narrow it down to the 22.
Yeah.
It is.
You think he recorded 100 songs?
Why
is it so long?
I didn't think it was long.
I mean,
it
it's
was
only
like
an hour and 8 minutes long, but why do we have all these little baby songs? Not even just the 4 interludes.
Speaking of baby,
there's a lot of baby songs.
I could have done without the baby interlude. I get that he's all happy. The Noah love, I could have done without that. But yeah, I didn't think it was long per se. It's just a lot of. It looks like a lot of songs to get through. But again, talking about Sonic Flow, I did feel that this is one of, and I'll say this, I felt, although there were some songs I could have done without, and they weren't my favorite, such as Sleepless Nights, Nobody's Watching song. Like, there's a couple of songs that I could have done without, but what I will say is I feel like this is one of the best albums as far as Sonic Flow that we've reviewed thus far, because it just, in my opinion, it took us on a ride.
It did flow. It flowed well, but there was just a lot of dragging, and that's what we'll get there when we talk about the Sonic Flow.
Yeah. All right. Did you have any honorable mentions that you wanted to mention?
I do. I like the Riot 2020.
Yes, I agree. I wholeheartedly.
I appreciate the fact that he put that song on there. I really do. And with the choir, the whole feel of it, find a way to get that out there, do something with it so that people hear it, because he's speaking the truth and he's,
Now let me challenge you on this, because that song is my favorite as well. But do you think that...
It's not your favorite because you ain't talking about it.
Well, it's one of my favorites.
Okay.
But how do you feel that the song fits in with the state of where his album is? Like, it's all these baby making songs, and then you have this one song that kind of sticks out like a sore thumb, as great as it is. But would you, if it were you, would you have placed more of an aware type of more aware songs on the album?
If it were me, I don't think that I would have put that song on there at all.
Oh, wow.
If it were me, I think that what I would have done is I would have made that its own thing to capture the crowd of all these people who are a part of Black Lives Matter. There's white people, there's black people, there's Asians, there's all types of different people that you could have captured before you released your album. So I would have released that with a video, with you doing something with the choir, whatever, found a way, give a little R. Kelly I Believe I Can Fly tease or something, and then release that before the album was released, so that would have been a promotion for what you have going on, even though you're going to be talking about coochie and making babies and tongues and cats and tongues.
That's a good song. Cats Got My Tongue. The play on words, I'm not going to talk about it
Cats Got My Tongue, y'all hear it. Yeah. Cat, meow, meow. Tongue.
He talked about it explicitly. Like
he did.
He was talking about doing that thing for hours. Like it was.
All right. So what are the other honorable mentions?
Some of the
what are the other honorable mentions that you have?
That was really it. Was the Riot song. But I definitely loved I loved a lot of the album. I enjoyed listening to the album as a whole.
Before we sat down and talked, you talked about Two Ways. There were a couple other songs that you.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't want to name them all because I'll be naming the whole album.
Just overall, okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, there are two ways. Love. Like that is so like that.
It sounds just like what I heard back in 2010.
No.
Yeah. It sounds very familiar.
Well, let's see what we.
But it was good. When I was going through my notes, I put Two Ways ? Like, let me come back to that one because it still sounds like
that's how I grade it.
Yeah.
The one, well, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about the grade.
Yeah, let's talk about the grade.
Okay. So vocals. Where you at with the vocals?
I'm at a 4 with the vocals. I thought, again, I mentioned this with his falsetto. I thought he definitely has grown vocally. I also loved some of his background vocals on this album. I don't ever remember really paying attention to Trey and his background vocals, but they were semi-strong on this album. So I had to give him a 4 for vocals.
I gave it 3.75.
Okay.
I almost was at 4. I started typing a 4. And I was like, I can't see a 4. I like his vocals. I don't love his vocals.
Okay.
I think that there is an opportunity for him to do better vocally. And he does, let me tell you something about these runs and this falsetto that he was giving on this album. It's great. And I think it was.
I feel like you're about to say something.
No. I'm saying it was great. But I think when he goes back into his chest voice, it's not. I don't get as annoyed as I used to get with the yodeling and stuff because he's not doing a whole lot of that anymore. But I just couldn't give him vocally. I can't give him above a 4. So I had to bump it down a little bit to 3.75. That's just where I'm at. So vocally, that's what you got from me, Mr. Trey.
All right. Well, let's talk about his lyrics. I gave him a 4. I felt like we've said throughout the entire show, the play on words. I feel like he is one of the best at doing it. I'm gonna go back to Cat's Got My Tongue, baby. Like,
we're not gonna keep talking about this Cat's Got My Tongue now. Viewers' discretion is advised. Is that right?
Viewers' discretion is
Okay.
advised.
Yeah, is advised.
But yeah, Cat's Got My Tongue was an amazing record, and and I just love that he took it back to his R&B roots. So I thought lyrically, I gave him a solid 4.
So I gave him a 4 for lyrics. Also, I think that lyrics it's also the play on words, but I think some of the songs it's just that same draggy stuff that's not really. It just dragged for me. It was so slow and boring.
Like I said, I do
R&B. I love R&B, but maybe I just wasn't in a mood to listen to this, Trey, because I was bored.
No,
give me something fun. It's 2020. Like niggas is out here dying. And you got me bored listening to this album. Give me something fun. Like I need to be uplifted right now. I don't want to be sitting here talking about. Everybody's been doing everything through COVID.
Right.
COVID babies, everything. So
right. So that's
why
he made a baby making album because that's what people.
It's just a little too late, little too. COVID about over.
Right, but people still having cats on the tongue.
Well, make that one song then. Not every song. Cats and tongues and cats and boots and cats and boots and boots and cats and boots and cats. Just make that one song and make that one thing and move right along. I'm done. I'm done talking about it. Go on.
Right,
hold on. No, I'm not. Okay. Yes, I am.
Okay. Well.
Shit. All right.
Hunker downers. All right. Well, let's talk about the production. I gave him a 4.25. I felt, again, music production as well as vocally. He's going up there. I hope the next album he continues to progress, so I don't have to knock him back down. But I thought vocal production as well as music, I had to give him a 4.25 because I just feel like he was top notch. Everything. Troy Taylor, shouts out to him. He did a bulk of the record. So
yeah,
as far as
I heard his little tag in there. I was like, wait, is this new? I don't remember hearing that.
Yeah. So shouts out to him for giving some great production on the record.
4 for me as well. So I think we're in line. I'm not going to talk too much about it. 4.
Okay.
Sonic Flow.
For Sonic Flow, I gave him a 4.75. I love that around the point of the album where Cats Got My Tongue.
Boots and cats and cats and boots and boots and cats and boots and cats
Yes.
and boots and... Wait, let me just tell them real quick.
Okay.
So boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats.
If-
Years ago, I don't know if it's the same anymore, but when you would ask Siri to rap, Siri would say boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and
No,
cats.
was it
and boots
rap
and
or
cats.
give it like a beatbox or something like that?
No, I thought it was ask Siri to rap, and she'd be like boots and cats and boots and cats and boots
Should
and
we
cats
try
and
it?
boots
Ask
and-
Siri to rap.
Let's ask her.
They may have upgraded her now. It's 2020.
Hey Siri, can you give us a rap?
If you're a Halloween nerd, I have just the rap for you. Hey, mad witches want to hear me slay. Hey, referees hate to see me play. Hey, got my mask on right on my face. Hey, trick-or-treaters trying to keep my pace. Tricking around, treating around, clowning, spooking around, scaring around, flouncing. Candy in bags in your hands and your mouth and fooling around, ghosting around, bouncing.
Boots and cats and boots and cats and hey. Oh, that rhyme. That goes with
It was- she was
Halloween. Boots
flowing.
and cats and boots and cats.
Right.
Have your boots on while you're walking through these fallen leaves.
Right.
And then cats be everywhere. It's black cats.
Right.
Halloween.
Happy Cats and Boots, everybody.
Boots and cats. So yeah, they've updated her, and she's not giving that anymore.
But around that point of the album, I felt like it was starting to, I won't say drag, but it felt like I want something different. And then by the time you feel that, you have this Back Home, the song Back Home. The album is also called Back Home, but you have this song Back Home, which just kind of shifts and it gives the if it is love, like that whole song,
Yeah.
and it just takes you on like a different turn. So I really, really appreciated that as far as the sonic flow, because that's what we're talking about. You don't want to stay in one section of the album for too long. You want to feel something different at a certain point, and you kind of feel that certain point, and he did that with Back Home. So I appreciated that so much. So I gave him a 4.75 for his sonic flow. I thought it was almost perfect. Almost.
Remember when we held on?
That was not the song I wanted you to throw to right then. That's not
Didn't
right.
we almost have it all?
No!
What?
Everybody knows almost doesn't count. Yeah.
Ooh, Jesus. It's the run for me. All right, so I gave a
Forget
4. I thought it was definitely solid with the sonic flow. I think that what it was for me was just boring at the beginning. I was just tired of these slow songs back to back to back to back to back. But then the Back Home one did give me
It did.
little,
Yeah, it did.
good feeling, and then it transitioned from there. However, it just took too long for me. It took too long for me. So Sonic Flow, I came through with a 4.
Well, all right.
So when we average all those out,
let's give him his average at a 4.09.
all right, which gives him what percentage, Kamar?
81.88.
And that is going to give Mr. Trey a grade of
Drum roll.
Ooh, I'm giving Sheila E vibes.
B-.
B minus.
A B minus. That's pretty good.
I think that's decent. 'Cause, it's,
I'm waiting for somebody to come with an F album.
I'm not ready for that because you're a professional. And it definitely
I
should
wanna-
be that.
I'm
But I
ready
mean,
to
it's still
ride
our
somebody.
opinion. So regardless if they're professional or not, I guess I can't say that.
Yeah, I'm ready to ride somebody.
No, you did last week. Bryson Tiller. All right. So
With that being said, we want to invite you guys to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Make sure you share this.
Tell the peoples about it.
Tell everybody. Tell your co-workers, the one you don't like. Just tell them to subscribe. I love that song.
Everybody.
I love that song.
I
But you don't know
I barely even know that part. I'm like,
y'all, would y'all like to see us do like a song association? I think I will win.
All right, y'all. This has been great. Ain't God good?
Ain't he all right?
Oh, he's all right.
Oh, he's good. Our next episode is actually going to be a gospel one. I want y'all to make sure y'all stay tuned for that gospel. Make sure it gives you, all up in your cerebellum, huh? All right.
EBB, shut up!
Let's see.
All right, I'm Zaiah.
I'm Camarray. We'll talk
Thanks
to
for
y'all
watching,
next
y'all.
time.